my brain, I'm driving in that traffic and dealing with these people and dealing with the fact that I've been work all day and dealing with the fact that I'm tired. I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody, because there's some days I drive. Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. I should say welcome back to me, right? Anyway, I was supposed to start back filming, wow, a while ago. A couple days after my last video. And then I said, I was going to I was going to at least film a video Monday, I think it was. Well, Sunday, I juiced. And it's a lot better now, but when I was putting my juicer away, the cord, I had it wrapped around the machine. Somehow my pinky got caught up in the cord just as I was putting the juicer under the cabinet, and the weight of the juicer hyperextended my pinky. And I mean to tell you, all of this was just bruised and swollen. And when I tell you it hurt, and then I was in the bathroom and I was doing something with my candle warmer, and I went to lift my hand and my pinky hit the countertop, and I almost collapsed in pain. It was so bad. My husband, he was like, oh my God. He said, I think you need to go to the ER because I think you broke that. I was like, oh God, no. I could still, bend it and stuff. And so fortunately, it was just a sprain. Again, it's still tender. The swelling has gone down considerably. The discoloration has faded. But I'm like, this is a reminder of how delicate my body is, because I was hurting. It was so bad. It was so bad. At any rate, I just wanted to come back and just chit chat with you guys, and not about anything in particular, but like we do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start back posting my cooking videos, because I did over the weekend. I meal planned, and also I've been meal prepping. I made my roasted red bell pepper pasta sauce, because I'm making a garlicky shrimp pasta for dinner. And last night I made, we had fish with rice, cabbage, and a squash zucchini mixture. That's what we have for dinner. And then I made a chicken soup, which is now in the freezer. I'm going to give that to the kids. And I was trying to, oh yeah, I made tuna, because when I'm cooking, I'm also thinking about snacks and different things like that. Not just dinner, but like all of our meals, breakfast and lunch, 2 snacks, etc., etc. So I made tuna, and then I made this seafood salad. So I think I'm going to start back posting my cooking videos, just because I enjoy that, making that kind of content, and also it helps me to be creative in the kitchen. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I just wanted to talk to y'all too about AI is just exploding everywhere. Everybody's using AI, the AI agents. And I see a lot of things posted on Facebook where they're making these collages, whether it's motivational, whether it's focused on self-care, regardless of what it is. And I just want to encourage, because I do hear people, not just people my age, but some younger people as well. Really, it's of all age groups. I hear comments about being afraid of AI and not wanting to, deal with it and stuff like that. And maybe I'm a little biased, because I'm a tech head by nature, and I love technology, and I like the idea of learning new things. And I think that the more you can educate yourself about the way that the world is changing, the better you'll be. The last thing you want to do is not be in the know, and you have all this stuff going on around you, and you have no idea what people are talking about. You don't have, it's like you can't navigate through the changes in society because you're not willing to learn. And so I just want to encourage anybody out there who might have the mindset that, even if you don't consider yourself a technically savvy person, you're not a tech head, you're not, maybe you're a beginner and you're trying to learn, just don't give up. Continue trying to arm yourself with the tools that you need to be more marketable, to be, to increase your value, to just to educate yourself so that you can learn how to do things with ease, or learn how to do things smarter, and not working so hard. Not, the day and age of us only using Microsoft Office, or only using like emails and things like that, they're long gone. AI agents are making it possible for individuals who want to broaden their horizons to learn how to automate things in a way that you're not having to click so much and take so many steps and think so hard about everything. And I know that learning new things can sometimes be a little intimidating, but you probably should just ask yourself, is it going to hurt you to learn that? And the answer to that question is no. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do anything bad to you for you to learn how to use a new tool. Excuse me. It could possibly hinder your growth if you don't learn. And you don't want to be in that situation. I was watching a video and the host of the channel that I was watching made a statement that AI is not replacing people. It's replacing the people who don't want to learn AI. And I thought that was very, really made you think about it, because companies are they're incorporating AI into just about everything. And companies are looking for people who not necessarily know how to use an AI agent, but that are willing to learn. I've always been a believer that a person with years of experience does not necessarily trump someone who doesn't have that experience. And the reason I say that is because a person with years and years and years of experience, they have a sense of wisdom, they have a sense of understanding, but they also have bad habits from where they've been working. Sometimes people have a tendency to bring those bad habits onto the next position. If you have someone who is new, but they're inquisitive, they are intrigued, they're hungry, and they want to learn, that person could potentially be more of a fit than the person with the years of experience. So those are things that you have to think about. It's not out with the old, in with the new, so to speak. It's, let's use what we got and make it better. And sometimes when people are stubborn and they don't want to kind of, go with the flow of things moving in a certain direction, they could potentially find themselves on the outside looking in. Nobody wants that. So again, I just encourage you to just keep an open mind, listen, check it out. It's okay to be curious, but hopefully that does not translate into being afraid. Okay. So the other thing that that I wanted to talk about was just like some of the changes that are going to be coming to my channel. There are going to be some different types of videos that I'll be posting. I am going to start nurturing my business YouTube channel. I don't currently have anything posted there. I remember a while back I did post the link and ask for you all to go over and subscribe to that channel. Some of you did. I do see, I think I lost like 12 subscribers over the last couple of weeks. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that I haven't been posting regularly. But again, I am going to attempt to try to post more often. I don't know what that looks like. A lot of it has to do with just fatigue. You know, I struggle with vitamin deficiency, and one of them is my iron. And when you are experiencing issues with your iron, just completing a regular work day sometimes can take a lot out of you. It just depends on what all is going on. So I've been trying to listen to my body more. I do know that the other part of that is I really have to get back to moving. I want to film because y'all know I walked around my neighborhood. The challenge with that is there are so many street signs and stuff, and unless you are cognizant of how you're holding the camera, it's a lot of trying to blur out and chop up. And it's that when I took that walk around my neighborhood, that was an editing nightmare. I had the hardest time trying not to dox myself. And I don't know if I if I accomplished it or not. I have no idea. But you know, it's a beautiful area, and I really would just, you know, it's been hot. That's the one thing. But I guess I can get on my treadmill too, but it's not the same. But yeah, just trying not to capture the street signs. And oh my goodness, and the thing of it is, when I was walking, the way that I was holding the camera, I had no idea, even though I was trying to hold it, you know, low, and but so that y'all could still see me and stuff. I had no idea that it was still like it would show the sign as I walked past it behind me. I mean, it was just crazy. But yeah, so that's something else I have to get back to walking. What is something that you do to motivate yourself, regardless of how your body feels, to get up and just get it done? Drop it in the comments below. Tell me something that you do to motivate yourself, regardless of how you're feeling physically, to just get up and just get it done. I feel like I do that with work because that's a necessity. Because there are definitely some days that I just physically, if I had my way, I would just stay in the bed, because it's, you know, when you are not just tired, it's a weird feeling, something I can't really explain. But it's almost like, you know how when you're using a power tool and the battery is getting low, and I don't care how much you engage the trigger, you just can't get it to go the same way it does when it's on a full battery. And my battery. Okay, I'm back. And for some reason my camera looks crooked, so we're gonna hope that this video is not crooked. But we shall see. But anyway, yeah, it's like that, you know, when you got a power tool and the battery is fully charged. I mean, it's just revving and doing its thing. But you can always tell when the battery is dying. You can engage that trigger as hard as you want, but it's just that's how I feel on the days when I'm experiencing fatigue, because it's more than just being tired, you know. And this is not a I'm tired because I wore myself out. I'm tired because I'm literally running out of gas. You know, I just don't have it in me. And that's how I feel, you know, some days. And I got to a point where I stopped feeling guilty about not doing anything, because I'm such a busybody. That was one of the issues that I had, is that, you know, I experience guilt when I allow myself to rest. And I had to really, really have a conversation with myself, because I'm like, you can't be go, go, go all the time. You know, you seriously cannot be on the go all the time, because it's just not possible. It's just not possible. But the problem with that is I think I've gotten a little too comfortable now with doing nothing, and that's not good, you know, because goals that I set for myself for my business are not being accomplished. Things that I want to do personally from a health perspective, they're not being accomplished. Um, and I keep saying to myself, okay, we'll start next week. Oh, we'll start next week. Okay, we'll start this weekend. Um, and I'm just like, the hustle is gone, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that needs to happen for me to kind of get that hustle back. You know, there was a time when my kids were younger, and I mean, I was on the go all the time. I worked a full-time job. I had a nonprofit organization. I was networking. My husband and I were just actively dating. Like we was out there getting it, you know. Um, the kids had activities. I mean, it really was hard to see any particular day where there was a moment for me to just sit. There was always something. And then, not even to mention laundry and groceries and chores and, you know, just stuff that needed to get done. But the funny thing about it is everything got done. Everything. And then at that time I was involved in organized religion, so I was going to church on Sunday, choir rehearsal, Bible study, you know, but everything got done. And I didn't feel like I wanted to curl up in my bed and pull the covers over my head. I didn't feel like I was going to collapse from being tired. I just didn't feel it. And I know a lot of it has to do with, you know, my health was different. I was younger, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I know people my age that I, you know, went to high school with, and they look amazing. They are always like exercising. They're always moving around with their families and vacationing and doing this and doing that. And they're working a full-time job. No, their kids aren't young anymore, but they, you know, just standing on the outside looking in, it's like, man, I wish. And I know, you know, you don't supposed to compare yourself to other people, and I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is I'm looking at them and thinking to myself, I wish I had the energy and the drive to just be all over the place like that, because man, it would just be different. It would just be different. And I say that because I used to be that. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. And it's really hard because that's another reason I pulled away from coaching, which I haven't given up, y'all. I haven't given up. I really haven't, because I truly feel like I have something to offer. But that's the reason I pulled away from coaching, because in my mind, looking at what coaching represents to me, the value that I want to how can I say this? If I were the person being coached by me, this is what I would expect. But as a coach, I also expect certain things from me to my clients. With that level of expectation, and having days of I just don't feel like it today, I can't have people depending on me, going through my program, and I'm not showing up. So that's another reason I say I pull back, because I don't want to be out offering services that I can't fulfill, because that's not fair to me. It's not fair to my clients, and it gives you a bad reputation. You're not reliable. You're not dependable. You're not responsible. You know, I don't want to be represented that way. And so I would much rather take a step back and look at the big picture than to devalue myself. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you do? Because my thing is, you know, that's another reason I juice, because when I juice, especially because this one is I did a whole lot of beets this time. I did I did a lot. It's like the entire batch of juice had beets in it, and the reason is because of the low iron. Yeah, I can eat beets and all that kind of stuff, but I can drink more than I can eat, and no, I'm not trying to drink all my meals. It's just I can nurse this for the day and know that number one, it tastes good, and especially when it's ice cold. But I can nurse that for the day and know that the nutrients that I'm getting. But that's the reason I decided to go ahead and juice, because I'm trying to. I'm thinking of things that I know will help to nurture my body. I'm thinking of things that I know will help to, replenish some of what I am losing. So yeah, your diet, your moving and stuff like that makes a huge difference. The last time I got out and I walked, I don't know if it was a Saturday or a Sunday, but one of those days, let me tell you something. I got up and I got out and it was early. And I kept saying to myself, oh, it literally was like 70 something degrees. And I got all the way around the route that we created for ourselves, almost home. When I got over by the pool, I had to go into the gazebo area. It's a covered area right where the pool is that looks out over our lake and stuff. I had to go sit down, and I had to go sit down because when I looked at my watch, it was it had crept up to like 86 or something like that, and I could feel it when the temperature changed. I couldn't feel it as it was changing, but I felt it by the time it hit 86 because the wind was blowing. I was feeling pretty good. And by the time I hit that area and I had to go in the shade and sit down, I could still feel the breeze because it's completely open. It's just covered. To cool off. I had gotten so overheated that I was feeling lightheaded. I was feeling dizzy. And the crazy thing is I had a bottle of water. That water was ice cold. And yes, by the time I got to the covered area, the water, it wasn't room temperature. It was warmer than room temperature water. So I couldn't even drink it because I was trying to sip on it and it was so warm it wasn't quenching my thirst. So I was like, oh yeah, I know I got to go and make it to the house because it was just too hot out there. And at the time, I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I was telling her, what had happened. And I say, ooh, I got to go in here and sit down. She said, yeah, go in there and sit down. I don't want you to fall out, And I'm like, I don't want to fall out either because ain't no my husband wasn't home, and wasn't really the little workers at the, not workers, with the lifeguards at the pool. They were some kids. They wouldn't have known what to do probably. I guess they know CPR or whatever, but hopefully I didn't need that. But yeah, after I sat for a while, I cooled off because like I said, it was a nice breeze coming through. And when I started feeling better, I got up and and I walked on to the house. But man, when I opened the door, that big gust of air hit me because the AC was on. It's like I fell in love or something because I felt like somebody had just embraced, the air just embraced me on into the house because I was so hot. So that's another thing, is you have to be careful. And see, I really, because I can't walk in the heat like that. I'm on at least one of my medications. I'm not supposed to be in direct sunlight for long periods of time. So that's like when we go on cruises and stuff. I'm very mindful of, like, because when we go to the beach and things like that, I'm either in an area where there's a shade tree, or we have an umbrella, or there's something. I'm never sitting just out in the sun because I can't do that. That's not good for me. One, because it causes my blood pressure to spike. But the other thing is being on medicine and you're not supposed to be in direct sunlight is not good. And it's a horrible thing to feel like you're having a heat stroke or something. It's just crazy. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, you know, what these next steps look like. I'm trying to figure out. I feel like once I can get my energy level back up, I feel like, and I am taking iron. You know, I have iron that I have to take it's 3 doses of iron a day. I'm wondering because I have different insurance now, and I have to make sure that I go see the doctor because it's time for them to draw my blood. I have to get my blood drawn twice a year to check my nutrient levels and stuff. And that's how they know whether they need to make an adjustment on my medication. But I'm wondering if they may need to adjust my medicine, because if I'm taking 3 doses of iron and I'm still tired like that, maybe they have to increase it. Because even with me being on iron and I'm eating, I just can't eat a lot. My iron usually still comes back, you know, a little low. Not extremely low, just a little low. I think it would be extremely low if I wasn't taking iron. But anyway, so yeah, and the funny thing, this is TMI, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, because I was cracking up laughing when it happened. So I went to the restroom again. I'm juicing, right? I went to the restroom, got up to flush the toilet, and my urine was like this burgundy color, and I was standing there looking like, that ain't good. And I came back in the room, and I was so perplexed, and I was sitting there just thinking, and then I look over at my juice, and I just fell out laughing. I said, yeah, so when you drink beets, if you don't know this, beets will turn your urine red. It'll turn it the same color as the beets. And they tell you this, you know, because like if you have to give urine for whatever reason, you know, it's certain things that you shouldn't be eating and drinking because it'll impact your urine output. But they use beets to color fabric in some countries, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they put the beets in the water and then they dunk the fabric. That's because beets stain. They stain. Because when I was juicing, yeah, my fingernails was just all discolored. It didn't last for long. But so yeah, so if y'all know of anything, you know, I'm interested in any suggestions that you might have. Again, I do have access to a wellness coach. She's an awesome person. I'm not working with her right now, but she is a really good friend. And I know that if I ever reach out to her with any questions, you know, she'll be more than happy to talk to me. But I'm just curious to know what y'all think. What suggestions that you have, because and the other thing is, I don't know if you realize or how many people realize that when you experience things in your body, that's not necessarily where it starts. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your emotions and you have your feelings and you have your there's different parts to who you are. And I learned this working with my wellness coach. And I remember one time when she said this, and I thought to myself, I've never heard anybody say that before. But she said, your body remembers things that your mind does not want to. Your body remembers things that your mind does not want to. So the trauma that you've experienced in your life, you may not remember it, but your body does. And when your body begins to display certain signs, they could potentially be signs that stem from the trauma that you've experienced. And it's a very difficult concept to explain. One that I probably will never master explaining it, especially the way she explains it. But I understand it enough to know that when I start physically feeling a certain way, she's gotten me in the habit now of asking myself questions. You know, it's so funny because I used to suffer. I have tendonitis in my shoulder. I used to suffer with pain. I'm talking about debilitating pain in my right shoulder. Almost like my shoulder is trying to separate itself from me. And when I work with her, we worked on nutrition, but we also worked on the central nervous system. We worked on fitness, you know, movement. We worked on a lot of different things because they all tie in together. Do y'all know that ever since I worked with her, because I did have two times that we did a session, I had a breakthrough. I had a breakthrough, and when I tell you, it would seem like I had a breakdown because I was bawling. I don't know what is going on with this camera. I think it's overheating. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, so it honestly would seem like I had a breakdown because I looked from the physical perspective. I looked a hot mess. But what was happening was that session helped me to what's the word I'm looking for? It helped me to navigate a release. And it's really the aha moment is coming right now, believe it or not, because it wasn't until I had that release that I'm just now realizing that I haven't had shoulder pain since then. My shoulder has not bothered me since I had that session with her. I think I'm gonna call her and tell her because I didn't even realize that. Ever since that session that I had that breakthrough, I have not had shoulder pain. And when I tell you, the pain used to be so bad that sometimes I was double dosing my pain medicine. If I remember, I don't know where I was. Wherever I was, it was so cold. And for some reason, the top that I had on, I didn't have a jacket. The top that I had on, the sleeve was up to here. But the shirt that I had on, the sleeve was, I guess, right about here. And when I tell you the amount of cold air that I was catching, all of this was throbbing. Like it was, I almost could feel my tendons and stuff just swelling. It was a horrible, horrible pain. So this shoulder had got very sensitive to cold air. It got very sensitive to certain positions that I was sleeping in. I mean, I was just really catching it. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me, even on pain medication, why was it hurting so bad? And so, yeah, that experience, it's like it freed me. I have not had any pain in my shoulder since that experience. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, how your body remembers the trauma that you've been through, even if you can't remember it yourself. But yeah, so I'm just going to, I'm gonna take it one day at a time. I am going to I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just trying to figure my way out of this because I think I kind of emotionally boxed myself in to this situation that I'm in right now, because sometimes lately when I'm thinking about something, it's hard to get my brain to engage. Whereas before, especially if you know me, my brain was always going like this, 50 miles an hour, always having ideas and just different things. And I don't get that lately. I just my husband, oh bless his heart. So if he beats me home, or if he, you know, if he gets home before I get off work, when I get home, like coming through the door, he wants a hug, he wants a kiss, he wants to know how my day was. And we sat down, and I had to tell him, I said, when I'm coming through the door, I just need you to give me a minute. I just need a minute. I need a minute to get in, put my stuff down, just take a deep breath. I just need you to give me a minute. So, like, I circled back on that conversation about a week later, and I told him, I said, I love you so much, and I know what you're doing. You're just, you know, I miss you too. You're so excited to see me, and the only thing you're processing is you want to be close to me. I said, I get that. I said, but sometimes when I'm coming in after my long day, my brain, I'm driving in that traffic and dealing with these people and dealing with the fact that I've been work all day and dealing with the fact that I'm tired. I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody, because there's some days I drive, you know, I drive home and it's dead silent in the car. I don't want to hear no radio. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want anything. And so I told him, I said, sometimes when I'm coming in, you know, give you the hug, give you the kiss. I said, but when you ask me, like, how was my day or whatever, I'll just be sitting there looking at you, because I'm like, I don't even want to think about what happened today. I can't tell you how my day was, because that means I have to think about what all went on today, and I just don't want to think about nothing. And I said, I hate that I've gotten to be that way, but I am. I'm so mentally tired and physically exhausted. I don't want to talk. I don't want to think. I don't want to make no decisions. I don't want to do anything. And I just laugh, because he has this look on his face where he be like, well, dang. But he, you know, he got it. He got the message, and I used to be feeling so bad for him sometimes, because I know sometimes, like, when I came home, uh, he asked me what was for dinner. And I mean, I still had my bags and stuff in my hand. And I turned and looked at him, and I was like, I said, I don't know. What's for dinner? You tell me. He looking at me, and I'm looking at him. And he said, well, I was asking because I was going to go grab us something, because I figure you're probably tired and you. I said, oh, okay. I said, that's what we doing? He was like, well, what do you, I said, I don't want, I said, whatever you get, wherever you go, I don't care. I said, I don't want to have to decide or nothing. I said, this was your plan. I said, execute it. I'm 100% on board. He was so perplexed. He was just standing there like, okay. He was concerned, because he's like, if he brings something back here that I don't like, now he got a problem because I don't have anything to eat. I was like, I just wasn't worried about it, because if he came back here with something that I don't like, I was going to eat it anyway, because it's my fault. I didn't want to tell him. I just didn't want to make any decisions. And it was mentally, I was done. I was just so done. But yeah, y'all help me out. Help a girl out. Help a girl out. So anyway, the other thing is, I am going to be, because I told you I'm going to be making some videos, you know, a little different on my channel. One of the things I am going back to, because I made the decision, because y'all know some things changed, you know, with my job, and I'm at home less now. So, you know, when I have to drive into the office, those are the days that I struggle with, right? But before, when we were on a different kind of rotation and I was home more often, when I got off work, I was at home already, so I literally threw my clothes on, my paint clothes on, and I was painting my house and decorating and different things like that. Well, when that rotation changed, I was at home less often, and just everything came to a complete halt. So what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be going back to doing some home improvement videos, because I made the decision to go ahead and start. I'm gonna finish my house, and because when I walk around here, I'm like, my house is not done. You know, there's some areas that's completely untouched. There's some areas that's like 85-90% done, and I just need to do, you know, the other 10-15%. And I said, you know, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, and I'm going to have to just go ahead and finish the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the areas that has the least amount of work that needs to be done, because they're like, say for example, my powder room downstairs, the only thing I need in there is the crown molding. So it's examples like that. So I'm going to, I do need to get a taller ladder, because the ladder that we have is tall enough for me to reach the ceilings upstairs, not downstairs. Anyway, it's tall enough for me to reach the ceilings, but it's dangerous because it puts me too high up on the ladder, and I don't want to have any accidents. So I'm actually going to get my AC guy has one of those ladders that, oddly enough, it collapses in so many different ways that you can make it taller, or you can make it like a scaffold. I think that's what they call it, where you can walk across it like that. But it just it folds out into so many different types of ladders, and once you set it like a traditional ladder, it gets pretty long. It's like pretty long. So I'm going to be investing in something like that. I do have to take inventory, because when I was working on the stuff in the house, I knew everything that I had. Once I put my stuff in the garage, when I stopped working on my house, y'all, my husband got into my stuff. I had a battery that was no longer working, and I'm going, I don't even understand what happened. I have a one of my tools is no longer work. I'm like, he had my, I don't even know what you call that thing. It's like if you had a piece of plastic, for example, and you want to poke a hole in it, like for an outlet, and you just like that. I don't know what it's called, but I went outside and he had that, and he was doing something with it, and I just started yelling at him to turn it off, because I'm like, he's about to tear up my tools, and I haven't even had a chance. I hadn't had them long. And my question to him was, if I didn't have this stuff, how would you be doing what you're doing? But I didn't buy the tools for him to manhandle them, because he has tools. I specifically invested in money. I invested money in tools for me to have my own set of tools. And I noticed that things started getting broken and just crazy. I'm like, what is happening with my stuff? So now I'm going to have to do inventory, so that I can see what's working, what's missing. I have to do that. And I have an area in my closet, because I have one of my bedrooms I turned into a full wardrobe. That's where I go, all my stuff is. I get dressed, I work out, in that room I have a regular closet, and there's a space in the closet where I can put a shelf. And so right now I move my tools in there, but they're just sitting on, like, not on the floor, but there's like a one shelf thing in there. Well, it's two shelves together. It's sitting on the bottom. So I'm gonna put another shelf, because I got an extra one in here. I'm gonna put another shelf in there, and I'm gonna organize my tools, and I need to test and make sure everything is still working. The other thing was I bought a brad nailer, but I think it can also do staples if I'm not mistaken, but I need a regular nail gun because I believe the brad nailer only takes certain size nails. I could be lying. I don't know. I could be 100% wrong. But I have to figure out if the one that I have only takes the small nails because they also take staples, or will it take larger nails? The reason that is important is because I'm going to be working on some projects, and if I had a nail gun that I could put regular nails in, instead of those little tiny, because the brad nailer is good for when I do the crown molding, because you want to have nails tiny enough where they don't, they don't crack your crown molding, but they don't show either. So I want to see if I can use that, or if I need to buy another type of nail gun for the bigger projects that I'm going to be doing. I did put up shelves. I built my own shelves, and y'all saw it. If you haven't seen that video, you want to go back into my home. I think I have a home build playlist, but I built my own shelves in my guest bedroom, but they're unfinished because underneath the shelves you can see the slats and everything. So I want to put a piece of wood under there to box it in so it looks cleaner. They're not painted either, and I'm not sure if I want to paint them or if I just want to cover them with some type of wallpaper or something, contact paper or something. I don't know. I have a lot to think about. There's a lot of stuff that I just need to get done. But the reason I decided to go ahead and do that is because I told my husband, because we got a lot of things that we got plans. We have a 1, 3, 5, and 10-year plan. And with that plan, I want to walk into my house and, for one, be happy with the aesthetics. But for two, I want to be comfortable. I want to be completely done with all the projects. I want my house to be finished, and I want to walk in my house and feel, I want to feel happy that everything is done and there's nothing else for me to do. I have to figure out what I'm going to do in my living room, because I'm not really sure what's going on. I have attached my my curtain rod, and for some reason, no matter where I put it in that wall, it's pulling away from the wall. And it doesn't matter if I'm using anchors or not. It's something about the way the wall is constructed that it's not holding up. So I need to figure that out too, because I'm going to pull the curtains down, and the color scheme that I have going in there, I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. It's going to stay the same colors, but I have mauve and white drapes. So I'm going to take down the mauve, and I'm going to replace them with 2 more white panels, and then I'm going to use the mauve as the accent colors, but I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. I kind of want to build a box that goes around the curtains, and I'm thinking I can cover the box with the mauve drapes. So we'll see. Y'all will be seeing some of these ideas come to fruition in the videos that I'll be filming. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. But yeah. All right. So I am going to go ahead and get out of here. And I just want to come and chit chat with y'all. I hope this video didn't feel like it was all over the place. If you are new here, thank you so much for showing up and checking out my channel. Please consider subscribing. If you are a returning supporter, we sure appreciate you 100 and 1,000%. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on that bell notification so that you are notified whenever I decide to post a video. But we're going to get out of here. Y'all know we don't do so without saying love yourself, love somebody else, and until next time, y'all take care. Bye. you're not already a member of the Fetch fam, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download that app, scan my QR code, and get to scanning those receipts. You might as well take advantage of it. You're already spending the money. The receipts translates into points, the points translates into cash, and you can redeem that cash via store card or cash card, or you can donate to charity. Well, all right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, but you know we don't do so without saying, love yourself, love somebody else, and until next time, y'all take care. Bye.